guys, this is Chef George. I just stripped our heavily used double griddle, and what you see in front of you is a Scotch-Brite griddle cleaning kit. There are many out there, but this one we prefer to use here. It makes it pretty easy. So what I wanted to show you was how to season the griddle from the start. So this had been stripped, I cleaned it with soapy water, got all the residue off. Even if you had a new griddle, you would start with hot soapy water, and then you would just wash it off, then dry it. And then we would start with a cold griddle. And right now I'm going to turn the griddle up to 450. It's cold right now, but we'll turn it to 450. And I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So you can use different vegetable oils, but cheap olive oil has a very low smoking point, so it will burn off very easily. And the whole objective of burning this oil is to turn it into carbon. And by doing that, we're going to season the griddle. So we're going to give it a nice black surface. It's going to be well seasoned. I'm going to put a little more oil on here. We'll have a nice seasoned surface, and this will be very smooth to cook on, and will also protect the steel because it's made out of carbon steel, and it will rust if it's exposed to any food elements of any kind. So as you can see, there's a very thin sheen. I always tell ladies it's similar to putting on thin coats of fingernail polish. So at this point, the griddle is slowly heating up, and what I'll look for is the oil starting to burn, and there'll be wisps of smoke, and that will be the transformation process from oil to carbon. So we're going to stop now, and we'll add in back to the point where the griddle is smoking, and we'll continue to show you the seasoning steps to that point. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Chef George again. So we left off where we had applied oil, that first coat of oil to the griddle, and now we're at the point where we're looking for this oil starting to smoke a little bit. So just as a reminder, make sure you have your ventilation on high. And another helpful tip is if you're going to use a high temperature oil like peanut oil or safflower oil, something that can withstand 500 degrees, this griddle goes up to 450. So it will never actually burn a high temperature oil like that. But it will dry it out and slowly turn it into carbon. But the visual effects of using olive oil are much quicker. And that's another reason I prefer to use the olive oil to season the griddle. So if you can see in the video, there's a fair amount of smoke coming off here. And what's happening is the oil is starting to puddle up in very small little puddles. And we'll try to capture this with the camera. But it will take on the texture similar looking to an orange peel. I have like a dimpled look. I'm kind of getting close for you guys. You can see it happening right there. So we're going to let this go ahead and quit smoking. As soon as it stops smoking, we'll go ahead and we'll apply another thin coat of oil, which we're just about there, and then we'll just continue this process repeatedly. So this will take about 2 hours to get it good and black, but if we do this 4 or 5 times just to start before we cook anything on the griddle, that will be enough to have it seasoned, even though it won't be black like a cast iron skillet, but it will be seasoned well enough till you cook very well. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right guys, we're back. So we're just gonna apply that second coat of oil. It's gonna be the same as that first coat. So we're gonna go put another 2 tablespoons on the griddle. And we're just gonna put another thin coat on there. And you see how it's starting to smoke right away because the griddle's really hot now. I'm using the same towel that I used before. But you can see how that olive oil is turning black. Now we'll just go ahead and stop. When that stops smoking, which is going to be a shorter period of time now because the griddle is fully heated up, we'll go ahead and add another layer of oil. We'll just keep repeating this process, and I'll do it for the next couple of hours until I get it black, and we'll go from there. Thanks guys. All right guys, here we go. So we put 2 coats of oil on this griddle, so you can see if it's starting to become really dimpled now, that oil is turning into carbon. So we can just take it and smooth it out a little bit. We'll put a little bit of oil on here, so we need to put just a little less. And as this oil dries out and turns into carbon, it will become hard. So that's what we're looking for. So just we're going to keep repeating the same steps. Just nice, thin, even coats of oil. We'll let it burn off, and we'll keep repeating that process. Now on a brand new griddle that hasn't been used yet, you'll find the oil may kind of puddle up in big spots for the first couple of coats, and that's okay. Just keep working on it, and it will eventually turn into carbon. All right, guys, we'll see you on the 4th and 5th coats, and we'll go from there. Bye. All right, guys, this will be the last video that we do with this one, but I just wanted to show you how we go about seasoning it. It's almost, this last coat of oil that we put on is almost dried out. You might be able to see just a few wisps of smoke coming off of it, but we'll do one more coat. There's a couple of tablespoons. We'll use that same rag, and we'll just go ahead and spread that oil out, and I'll continue this process. At this point, there's enough seasoning on there that we can go ahead and cook on this. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to get this nice and black like a cast iron skillet, and that's all we need to do. I'll do another video after we cook, and I'll show you how to clean it after it's seasoned and after we've cooked on it. Thank you. Thanks, guys.